Hey everyone. Yeah, as you all know, I'm a bit nervous every time I come up. But what I have to share with you guys is so throughout my past, how I used to approach people would be like the way like my way of perception of just the Great Commission or like just spreading the gospel was, I would go up to my friends back when I was in school and just be like, hey, this like I would start explaining, but it was all like what I've learned throughout the past week is when you spread the gospel, when you speak to the person, it doesn't come from your mind in a way that you know more than they do. You gotta grow with them, right? The way I used to spread the gospel or like try to, share about Jesus to anyone, even at work or at uni or at school, it was all like it would all end up in debates. And I just want to encourage everyone to not do that. What I've learned throughout the past week is like you can't do this without abiding in God, without remaining in Him, without, spending any, like you can't just, learn a few things, go out there and just say a few things that you've learned word for word. It has to come out of your heart. You need to, like I actually put this verse up so that I would be able to read it to you guys. It was Matthew 22 verse 37, 38, 39, 40. You all know. It says, Jesus replied, "You must love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your soul, and all your mind. This is the first and greatest commandment. A second is equally important. Love your neighbor as yourself." Each person you meet, you gotta, like the way I saw it, they were a brother or a sister, my own brother or sister. It was like I was talking to Hannah, and if she was a lost soul, I want her to be saved. Like I had that much burden in my heart, Like growing up, since we were young, I used to always look after her since the age of like 5, 6, 7, maybe till that kind of like age, from waking her up in the morning, like getting her dressed up, everything, blah 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 blah, to coming back from school and giving her food, showering her, everything, and then my parents will come home and she's there. And as she grew up, my heart, for her, my love for her has grown more and more. Her spiritual life, it was always my concern. In that same way, God gave me that concern or that burden of a few years ago. And finally, I put that concern and burden into practice this week. This few days ago, we went to West Point. I don't know why. I just kind of cannot remember the rest of the people that were with me. Oh, Auntie, and who was it? Johan, yeah. Yeah. We were all together, then we split up, and while we split up, I went alone to a cafeteria, like the food court in West Point. And I was just walking through, as I got to the cafeteria, there's so many people sitting there. So I'm just praying to God. God, just show me who you want me to talk to. I saw a guy sitting all by himself. He's like kind of like sort of falling asleep while he's drinking his drink, sort of. And he's like wearing a hat. I thought he was like a very old man. So I was a bit scared. But like I walked past him, and then maybe I grabbed like a small ice cream, came back to him, and then I asked him, "Can I please sit down?" And I sat down, looked at his face, and he's a 16-year-old boy. I just started my conversation with him. I asked him what's his name. He said his name is Braden. We just chatted for a while, and then I just honestly told him, "Look, I'm here just walking around the store, just trying to find a person to talk to, pray for." And he kind of like he was shocked. He was like, "Oh, why?" And I was like, I just want to, share the love that God has given me. So I just want to pray for someone. And do you have any prayer requests? And he was like, yes. And I was like, what is it for? He says, court. So I was like, what do you mean court? And it turns out about a month or two ago, he just stole a car with a girl. And he got caught, arrested for it. And he's kind of in the situation where next week he finds out, whether he will go to juvie or not. So I was like, hey man, you look like a good guy. I don't think, I would never think that you would do that and whatnot. And started talking to him. And we're just talking like mates, just two guys. When you see each other, you start talking. You will never stop talking. You just talk about most random things. So that's what happened. So we started talking, and then I was like, you know what, I'll pray for you. Once I prayed for him, he just started thanking me. He was like, thank you, man. Like, I feel like there was this, burden inside me or something, and I feel so much better. Like, even before and then I think, I asked him about his Christianity, are you a Christian? Because he had a cross. And we went on talking about a lot of things. And I finally shared the gospel with him. And when I did share the gospel with him, his whole, way of talking, or his emotions kind of kicked in, I'd say. He felt convicted, I'd say, in his heart. Or he started opening up more. He started telling me, hey, I actually used to go to church. I go to church. My parents used to go to church, but in a very long time ago, but now they're very busy. I have 3 sisters, but I'm the only one that goes to church. I go to Hillsong. My friends take me there, but I don't always go. And since this incident and all the other things in his life, he's just been down. He's been, he would try and read the Bible. He says it goes through one ear and goes through the other. And I started relating with him. I told him, when I was your age, or when I was younger, I would read it, and the exact same thing happens to me too. I didn't know what the word was, but then God showed me his love. I shared my testimony. Maybe I can share it with you guys. There was a time in my life when I was very stressed and worried. And I discovered that I can pray and trust in God and trust in Jesus. And when I did, he took away my stress and gave me ongoing peace. I obviously elaborated on this, and he connected with that as well. So we spoke for a bit. I shared the gospel with him, and he's a completely different person from the very beginning to the end. And we shared contacts. He said he wants to learn more about Jesus. He's been feeling very, because of the incident and everything in his life, he's just been feeling like he wants to get close to God. He wants to know God more, but he opened up to me and he's like, man, I'm just sinning and I don't know how to get out of it. He's just a 16-year-old boy who wants to get out of all this, just like Johan's age. And he's honestly telling, I'm struggling. And we walk past these kind of people every day, and we never know until we speak to them. We just start talking to them. Another thing is, when I came and shared it upstairs, I heard that Paula Chichen apparently walked past him, made eye contact. And maybe about 40 minutes later, I saw the same kid. And that's when I met him. And I think someone said, when they heard this, that, God had his eyes on him. I told him, when we are broken, when we need God the most, when we, think about it in our head, you don't even have to pray. You don't have to say anything. God knows our thoughts. And there are so many people out there that are going through so much brokenness and so many things in their life, and they just don't have anyone to open up to or talk to. And what I've learned is, when you abide within God, when you love God, He gives that love, that burden that He has for us, for the people, for us to share. And I think we need to all share that love. Yeah. I think going forward as well, my faith has also been, strengthened throughout the past week. So I want to, abide in God. And I also want to do more of this work as well. So I request all your prayers for this. And request your prayers for kids like Braden, people like Braden, I met many people throughout the past week, and they all have nearly the same stories, All need Jesus, all need God's love. We're all just sitting here, received God's love, and we're just sitting here, I've learned throughout the past week that we're just doing nothing with it. So I encourage all of you as well. If God puts that burden in your heart, use it. Thank you.